Oh wow, I was actually on mute and I was talking as if people could actually hear me. Hi, welcome to the Amateur Football Channel. Again, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. After yesterday's show, I got crazy amounts of DMs, and I've been literally answering calls. So I've got Jamaal on the show with Andy. This is a show for you guys, so please get your questions in to Jamaal regarding anything to do with either the kind of say the London Vets side of the like cup and like anything else, and then hey, like we'll just roll with it. And again, my name is Reese, the best grassroots centre back vets you will see. Why are you laughing, Jamaal? And you know, again, actually, Andy and
I mean, if you're the best centre back at Vets, why don't you play for West Fulham or Charcoal? See, you don't have an answer. There you go. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Hold on.
And Andy's see the right smile on Andy's face. Like, Reese, he's got a point there.
You know what? Well,
that's probably the only thing we're going to agree on today, I think.
To Reese and the public, please ignore Andy as much as Andy and I get on just fine. And proof of that as to the quality of Andy and I's relationship is something can go wrong and we can still go on a show together and there'll be nothing but smiles on Saturday. So that's a message to everyone. Andy, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I mean, feel free to correct
me. I don't think Andy's buying it. I don't think
I was raised from young.
We had a good relationship. We had a good relationship.
Past tense, no, not past tense.
No wow. Okay, well,
absolutely no chance.
Before we begin, please click that like and subscribe. And again, thank you to everyone that's watching. So again, yesterday's show, I literally spoke about West Fulham versus Charcoal, London FA Cup Vets final happening this Saturday. And kickoff is at 12 o'clock. Cray Valley FC, Middle Park Avenue, London, SE9 5HP. And again, thank you to Andy and Marlon coming on and representing both teams. And you know, again, it was, you know, hey, like, you know, it was kind of going back and forth. A few people either to be fair, T did pull on a Charcoal shirt on once. I actually did. It was a charity game. So and hey, like, you know, everyone said that I played well. So
but I showed
if you played once, that means you got dropped. So that means you're definitely not the best.
Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't have enough players.
So not even 10, they had 8 players, so you're the 9th player. So desperation.
It's funny. So anyway, so the reason why Andy and Jamaal are on today, and again, thank you to you guys, is that there was a it's the ground. Literally Andy's a very like-minded individual. You know, we always have like a few jokes, but we, you know, when like we were talking about the venue and like whatnot, I could sense that there was a change of, you know, tone and you know, like it got a lot more serious, and you know,
yeah, I mean, it's a bugbear. I mean, I spoke to Jamaal privately through messages and that. I just can't understand the decision, because he rung all the managers up, and I said I was happy to play in the southeast, but it had to be fair. We'd play anywhere, but it has to be fair for the both finalists, and to be only they've got to go 8 minutes away, unless it's the only ground in London that's still up and running. I understand it, but other than that, I don't see any logic how you can put it 8 minutes away from a finalist. It don't make sense.
Jamaal,
sorry to everyone who's expecting explosive fireworks from this podcast, but sorry everyone, there's only one thing for someone in my position to say. I think on behalf of myself and everyone that I sort of represent, I think in reality we only owe West Fulham an apology. The reality is quite simple. I'm very sorry. I've made some mistakes here, and the mistake with Andy that I made is I think I kind of rushed him a little bit. Obviously, I put into context, I do run 33 competitions. The Vets competition is massive. but I run a lot of massive competitions, and I don't think I put enough time towards this. If I did, this possibly could have been avoided. I called Andy. When I called Andy, typical Andy, just a busy man. I should have emailed him or whatever, made sure he had time to respond properly and time for me to hear what he meant as well. I heard anywhere in South is fine, and obviously he would have said something a bit more. I didn't properly digest it because you run so many competitions. You take that, cool, book that venue, okay, on to the next competition. And this is what happens when you're overstretched. You make mistakes like this, and you upset people that you are paid to serve. So, Andy, really, really sorry about that. I don't really mind the digs that you made on the show because I know you would have said that to my face anyway.
Yeah,
so
I was going to see you Saturday. I was going to see you Saturday anyway. So
I don't really have an issue. I would have preferred you didn't, but you did. But to be honest with you, we can't have such a good relationship. Something go wrong, and then I hate you just because you said that, or you hate me just because this happened. There are some other politics as well. I don't know if people are really interested in that, but the reality is this sort of situation happens when someone in my position is rushing a little bit too much, trying to be too efficient. You become over efficient to the point you become inefficient. And so, yeah, I'm really disappointed with that. Yes, to add on as well, I would have just preferred, Andy, with the greatest respect, that you would have said, hey, everyone, really disappointed in Jamaal, really disappointed in the London FA. This is a dig at them. However, we did send a letter in, and to be fair, they did adjust the date as well because I know you had a semi-final on Sunday. And Darren, speaking to Darren, really good guy by the way. Not surprised, you're a good guy too, and saying that you guys would have preferred some more recovery time. So that was adjusted, but at the time I couldn't adjust the ground. I wouldn't have been able to get it approved. But yeah, I've maybe not in a massive way, but I definitely let down the competition in a way. So my apologies to everyone there. Saturday, I'm looking forward to the game. I think West Fulham are in a heap of trouble. I think Charcoal are in a heap of trouble. They're about to go through a difficult situation in sport where you're coming up against an opponent who, in my opinion, is just as good as each other. And I can't wait for the game. I cannot wait for the game, especially the second half after both teams have had time to make tactical adjustments. And I cannot wait to see how that second half is going to be played. Literally, I know I run a lot of competitions and whatever, but I'm looking forward to this final massively. I can't wait to see the game. And I'm looking forward to, obviously you two are looking forward to it, but I have all my cup final. I'm looking forward to this one the most. It's a rematch, two good teams, two well-run teams. Cannot wait.
Cool. Andy, anything to say?
I appreciate the apology. It was just, as I said, last year it was just what also annoyed me. Last year, Charcoal's manager rang me up and said, where the ground is, it's a little bit far. Do you mind changing it? Out of courtesy, I said, yeah, no problem. And the ground was changed. That's what needled me a bit. We were told, no, can't be changed this year. But last year,
last year, well, to be clear to everyone, not to say that anyone's questioned Andy anyway, but Andy's just speaking the truth. Last season was a bit of a different year because it was a post-COVID year, so things were much more flexible in that way. In regards to grounds, to remind everyone, the Vets final was supposed to be 29th of March. As a result of nothing to do with West Fulham or Charcoal, but as a result of some very poor behavior from other Vets teams, we had 4 abandoned matches in the London Cup alone due to player behavior and referee assaults. Okay, so that's what held up the competition. The original location was actually Glebe. Okay, that was voted for by the committee before the competition, and then that got eventually changed to Cray Valley. Now, another mix-up as well. I don't know if you know, Andy, but Darren helped me out a little bit with this. Was obviously you always got to be careful with team names, because West Fulham, I'm thinking, oh, SW6, you probably have a couple of players that probably live towards Brixton way, so going over to Eltham, no big deal. And it was just good to hear from Darren. Darren's like, no, we got players like Southall, Hayes. So I didn't know you were that far out, which makes it even worse. But
it was just the thing. We would go anywhere. I mean, we would go anywhere, North London stuff. But it was just the principle of it has to be fair. But even on a Saturday to get over there, we've had to do it on the cup final day. We got a few of the lads going to Chelsea at Wembley. It was I just feel it could have been handled a lot better, and I just don't know how it's come to this decision. I mean, it's 2 miles away from it. I just don't know how it's come to that. With that, it's just really. When you phoned us, there was 4 teams left in the competition, and the other 3 are this side, and only one's that side, and it's just seemed to have gone the southeast. That's what it felt like. It felt like we've not listened to.
I don't think you were unfair because if we swap positions, we would definitely have a very, very similar opinion, because I think where you were critical of us, but fair at the same time, where you're like, look where we are, look where they are, but they put it over there. It kind of stinks a little bit. Yeah, for sure. I can tell you this now. It wasn't because of them. I can tell you that much now. It's almost impossible for me to prove that. So if anyone has that opinion, fair enough. Hey, listen, I'm a grown man. I was well raised. I've come on podcast. Everyone's watching. I've come up and apologize. It doesn't matter if I'm seeing you Saturday or not. I have upset you. I've caused frustration, and I'm paid to cool the opposite. So it's I just need you to know that I am who I am, and I'm easily to approach, and I'm not afraid to come out and speak about it. And I'm happy to take the glory, but you got to take criticism as well. So haven't dealt with the situation best. Where I think my biggest mistake was calling you middle of the day. Lord knows what you were doing. Really should have just emailed you, put it all out so you can respond to me, and I can't mix up what you're then saying, and it's kind of sort of led to that. But yeah, that's where we are. I know you're saying, hey, listen, you're a proper team, and obviously you are. It doesn't matter where the final was, you go and play. So I respect that. But yeah, definitely, I definitely should have done better. I dropped the ball for sure.
Can I ask who made the decision on that? Was it just you? Was it
No, it's not down to me. So it's down for committee approval. So the committee, the original, so you want to sort of have an ideal selection of the ground before the competition even starts. So sort of August, September. So that was selected as Glebe, which is even farther out towards Kent. So that was the original selection. But obviously, once the date changed, that changed significantly. And I had no idea we'd be playing into May. But obviously, I knew from sort of January, February, where one of the first round games, the decision for it to be completed to see who's going to go through or whatever hadn't been made yet. So it's quite obvious a March final is just no chance. But what some of the positive that's come out of this was the Vets is always split into halves. So Saturday teams, Sunday teams. You try to get all the Saturday teams, all the Sunday teams. And that's kind of why you two ended up together in the final. So what it is, because it's a Saturday and Sunday competition, historically it's always played midweek. So speaking to people, and this is why I tell people, you work for the FA or county FA, speak to people like Andy, like Darren, like James, people who are on the ground. And speaking to these people is just realizing, oh, mate, like, yeah, it makes sense why you play it midweek, but mate, we got families. We can't have a 7:45 kickoff. And, so now it's more going to the committee in June. From now on, we need to be looking at playing the Vets on a weekend. This is what people want. All the Vets League Cups are on the weekend. Why are we doing this? Just because it makes sense, it doesn't mean you have to do it that way every time. And all the Vets Cups that I've been to over the years, yeah, they've always been midweek, and you never see any children there, you never see any grandchildren there, because how can there's bedtime? So that's sort of the positives that this sort of tricky situation has led to for future seasons. And I can't say, oh, well, it's future seasons, but that doesn't affect West Fulham. Like it probably will next season. Who's going to bet against West Fulham getting back, or Charcoal getting back, or them having a third final? Who knows? So I'm not happy this situation has happened at all. I'm not happy about upsetting people like Andy and the team. But a lot of benefits have come from it, because they're not afraid to check me. When you check people with a mentality like me, I'm going to use it to improve.
And Jamaal, have you found running the Vets London Cup the hardest to date?
This season of all 33 competitions, it was the most difficult, mostly because of the abandoned matches. You don't need to run a league or a competition to know that if your fixtures aren't being played, you're not going to be able to get to the final fixtures, whether it's the last round of fixtures or the cup final. So it has been the hardest this season. Obviously, nothing to do with Andy or James. It's only the teams involved. But yeah, I mean, Yeah, just poor behavior. Poor behavior will ruin anything. The workplace, the classroom, the pitch, just the poor behavior. And to be honest with you, it's the main reason why we're even in this position, because the final should have been. We should already know who's won the final. The final should have been long over. But at the same time,
the final would have been West Fulham.
Say again.
We would have won the final if it was early as well. We're going to win it on Saturday as well.
Listen, I mean, see, I see it. I mean, listen, I mean, watching Andy and Marlon go back and forth, which was just absolute box office, by the way. I don't like people's comments like, oh, well, oh, look, they're overconfident. What are you supposed to do? Come on here and say you're going to lose? Of course, you got to be confident. And, you title holders, Marlon, Charcoal are doing well at the top of the division. So, yeah, both teams are in a heap of trouble. They're fighting an opponent who isn't afraid of them, and an opponent who can match their quality. Gonna be a hell of a game.
I had a question. Yes, so regarding other things for next season, not only for the Vets Cup, but the other cups as well. I kind of get it all of the time, and I'm sure that you get it, and probably other sponsors get it. Can we get live draws? Can people come on platforms like this and do everything live? Because I'm not saying nothing is rigged, but we are now in a kind of day and age where doing a live Twitter feed, Instagram feed, whatever it is, it's not complicated. Why are these not being implemented? Right now?
We have to, and it would be great to get Andy's opinion on this, obviously, but in a little bit of a tug of war right now, because with the Vets Cup, the Sunday Challenge Cup, or the YouTube Cup as people call it, and a lot of the youth cups have some of the best young players in the world who aren't signed to an academy. So with those cups in particular, you're having some really, really good players. But it's supposed to be amateur competitions. So everyone's supposed to be playing for fun and for a bit of exercise. I don't think one Charcoal or West Fulham player is playing just for exercise. They're playing to compete.
There's absolutely no way.
We're playing to compete, and these teams aren't a joke. You put West Fulham or Charcoal in any other Sunday or Saturday London Cups, they probably go far in that and win it as well with 20-year-olds. So, but the bottom line is, sorry, I'm drifting a bit. They're supposed to be amateur competition, so therefore, a draw is supposed to be computerized, and you just go where you play and be good boys and girls and shut up. And no, but in reality, people want live draws. Can we do it? Very, very simple answer: yes. Not a problem at all. Yes, the Vets is a bit trickier than the rest because we do have to separate Saturday, Sunday. Because I mean, Andy, it'd be great to hear you, but in reality, the final can probably be played on the Saturday or Sunday, but I still think the Saturday teams should be matched with the Saturday teams and Sunday with the Sunday.
Yeah, I was talking to Conway, and I think it might be better the Saturdays and Sundays being kept apart until the semis.
Okay, so you want to open it for the semis?
If we get drawn against Charcoal and they're the home team, we have to play on Saturday. But long as people know about that.
So semis, we used to do the quarters. And I won't say the club's name, but yeah, they really kicked off, which was cool for me. Once the numbers are done and the round has a name, like quarterfinal, semifinal, for me, that's when the competition gets really, really, really real.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think the quarterfinals was fair to then mix the teams, but obviously, you lot will know more than me. You still got to raise a team, and you can't be having people who have custody of their daughters on the Saturday and they play on a Sunday, or work security on a or whatever, and then you have to tell them, oh, sorry, we have a game on a Saturday, not the Sunday. And then before you know it, they have 8 players. We still need to create a competition where the teams can feel their strongest sides, and we can't be having a weakened side just because we want to mix it up. So, but I think the semis is fair. Once people win the round of 16, so like I said, that'll be November. Email out. If you get to the semis are in February, please be aware you may draw a team on the opposite day.
Yeah, it's like when I found out I only found out last season that you've done it. Straight away, I told my lads, if we get drawn against the Saturday team, we have to play on a Saturday. If it's there and you tell them, there is no. If they can't get a side, then they have to forfeit the tie.
Okay, so let me say this then, because we have this with the youth a lot, because we have so many youth competitions, but only about 5 or 6 clubs dominate them, right? And those teams, they can travel anywhere. They got funding, loads of parents, loads of coaches, and that's why they dominate. And some of these single team clubs, 3-team clubs don't have that support. And then, one Saturday they got to travel up to Enfield and they're from Wimbledon and they have a weekend side, they get beat 6-0, competition over. So what the situation now is we still got to create something to where teams can feel their best sides. So the cross mixing does create that issue. So if we were to cross, some may see it as that suits clubs like yourself and Jamrock and Charcoal, who just seem, I don't know what the truth is, but they seem to have that level of support. Big playing squads, 4 players are missing, still got an 11 that's good enough to win the whole thing. Whereas if you keep on the Saturday or Sundays, those teams who may not have that squad depth or support might be able to get to the semis and then only having to cross mix for one round. Hope that makes some sort of sense. But
we're only thing because it takes time to build squads. It takes time to. But I'm lucky that my club we're all friends, and I had 1 or 2 but they know someone in the thing, because I've had some really good players that come to the and they can't handle it. They can't handle coming into our banter and you've got to have a certain way about you to play for us.
Yeah,
there's a lot. I mean, we talk honestly. The players ain't scared to tell me if I've mucked up, and it just comes down. We talk we say what we feel, but at the end of the day, after you leave the pitch, you have a pint and that's it. You're all friends. But it takes time. But I think if you say to them like semi-final, you could be on a Saturday. As long as you say at the start of the season, they can't. I don't think they can really have.
No, they'll always try. You won't. James won't. Conway won't. A lot of guys out there won't because they have just strong principles or whatever. Some other people have strong principles as well, but it's just like when it comes to it, they're always going to try it on. You're upset about the venue. You didn't try it on. You said we're unhappy about this. You're not trying it on and trying to lie and no, saying this is why we're not happy. Other people trying to lie. Oh, I'll only get 6 players, or Tabrice. Andy's unhappy about the venue. Darren's unhappy about the venue. At no point did they ever say, "Oh, we can't get a side together," or "We're gonna pull out the final." All these empty threats. No, see what I'm saying? So they're upset, but they don't go past a certain point.
We weren't going to go for COVID.
Once certain teams don't care. They'll just say whatever they can. They'll say whatever they can to try and get out, and it's just like, oh, well, why you have us playing on an opposite day? We're a community club. We can't afford this and that. Yeah. So, and we have to cater to everyone. I think both of you can understand that. We're supposed to cater to everyone, and if we do that sort of cross mixing of days, I think some would argue it will support the sort of better supported clubs.
Couldn't the clubs vote on it?
So technically, you can only do votes in a league competition because the teams in that league are preset, whereas in the cup competitions, it's never done. Could it be done? Of course it could. Of course it could. But could it be done? Yeah, because if you were to think about it, if you're looking at you and Charcoal and Rainers and Jamrock and Sporting Santos and these sort of proper London Cup teams, imagine if a new club joined in and then their vote is equal to yours, So, but could it be done? Yes. I can suggest it. But for me, I'll tell you this now, for me, it would be a lot easier if it mixed. It'd be a lot easier for me draw-wise if it mixed. Yeah.
I just think it spice it up, and it, as you say, you end up playing the same sides. Yeah. Or we can meet Charco in the semi-final. As I said, it's just a way. Something of spicing it up a little bit. I think if you put it out, like if you said at the start of the season, right, semi-final, you could be sat. If I told my lads that, and then come the date you give me, I say, "Oh, Jamaal, I can't get to it." Then you say to me, "Well, Andy, you're going to have to forfeit your place."
Oh no, we'll definitely do the semi-final from semi-final onwards. No, we could definitely do that. But yeah, anything earlier than that, I think.
Oh no, semi-final. I'm just saying, no, I'm semi-final. Yeah,
we can do that. No, we can do that.
Semi-final. I just think it then gives us a chance to play a Saturday, maybe not Jarko, but play another Saturday side. As I said, long as my players, as soon as I know something, I will say to them, right, we could play on a Saturday. And come the day, if I can't get a side out, that's my fault and that's my players' fault because they knew about it and they should make arrangements for it.
You're not getting a side out. That would never happen.
So, Jamaal, what are the strengths and weaknesses of both teams?
Oh, that's a good point. I would have loved to have seen the teams much more often than I have to be able to give a comprehensive view on that. In regards to last season, it felt like Charcoal have a way of playing. They're really, really good at that way of playing. And they're probably even better at that way of playing than any of the ways that West Fulham can play. So that is what they'll probably need to do to win. Whereas West Fulham look like they can play the Charcoal way, they can play some other ways as well. So it's that diversity of the way they can attack. So that's what I think the differences are. So that's what I've noticed from the two teams. So if I was sort of looking at West Fulham, they should really kind of approach however they want. Do we want to soak in some pressure? Do we want to play into the channels and turn them? Do we want to try and match the Charcoal's intricate way of playing? But in reality, if Charcoal's intricate way of playing, unless they're going to really have to punish West Fulham. They didn't punish West Fulham last season when they were on top. They got an early goal out of it, but when you're playing a team like West Fulham, you're going to have to score 2 or 3 to win. And then maybe get West Fulham to chase you, then either hit them on the counter or just soak up the pressure and hold on. But that's the two different. That's what I noticed from last season's final. But I mean, that was last season. I mean, now that is a long time ago. It's almost ancient history now. But it's good to see because London Cup is funny. Sometimes teams get to the final and then they fall off the next season. Both teams just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And I don't want to hear anything about the difference in the league quality. I'm not trying to hear that. It's irrelevant because no, I mean, Andy, you can laugh. It's a good point because
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing about the. I checked the Charcoal. They won their league by 15 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I thought they won by 2 points, but I have a couple of games in hand or something like that.
Yeah, so it's just I mean, I'm not laughing with what you said. It's just about the. It's just about the league. We can't be a. I think he called it what's it called league yesterday? A dead league. You can't be a dead league when we're in the final of the Surrey Cup. We won yesterday. We had another team in the semi-final, Jamaal for the Surrey. And we had 2 teams in the semi-final. London. So it can't be a dead league. It can't be.
No, I mean, well, the bottom line is this, because don't forget, this isn't anything new. This isn't a vets situation. This is a football situation. We've seen Porto win the Champions League. We've seen Bayern Munich win the Champions League year after year after year, coming from a league that isn't has as much quality as Serie A or the Prem. So, like you said, you have to judge your overall quality and your performance in the cups. And lo and behold, you're back again. And you cannot get to a London Cup final by luck. You can get through a couple of rounds. You can't get to the final on luck. You definitely can't get to the final 2 years in a row on luck. So obviously,
and winning one,
and winning one. So I mean, but I mean, irrespective of what Marlon or anyone from Charcoal says, they know they respect you. You can see
this as well.
But to be honest with you, though, I mean, to be honest, I think that's what makes a Charcoal more dangerous because they actually respect you as an opponent. So yeah.
Charcoal Bet said, when the final is in March next year, it'll be easy to find a ground with grass anywhere in London. In May, it's mostly 3G.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to go. Obviously, that's a good shout. Listen. I mean, when Andy and the club are clearly upset, and people in my position are going to accept that and apologize. I didn't want to go into too much detail and try to apologize to Andy and say, "Oh, mate, I tried to book this pitch and couldn't get it, and that pitch and couldn't get it." Obviously, getting a grass pitch, period, isn't easy for, especially because you want a non-league ground because that's what the committee want. I think it's suitable for the vets, and most people would agree with that. a lot of non-league grounds don't want to hire at the ground until their last first team game. A lot of non-league grounds, then you want to go into May. You then get a narrow window from the last first team game to when they start to either resurface the pitch or put in new draining or whatever, or sometimes even new stands. Because if there's no seating, that's not appropriate for the families and the spectators. So, so we are a bit lucky to have just a decent ground period. But now's not a time to make excuses. You know, I mean, we are lucky in a way, but hey, it's time to play. Let's go. And like I said already, man, obviously Andy's looking forward to the game. To Brees, I'm looking, and I'm so lucky to be a neutral where I just don't have any sort of connection to either team. So it's literally whoever plays best, hope they win. But boy, hey, get the watches ready. I'm not afraid to say the E word because in our Cups team, we're not allowed to say the E word. But if it goes to E and it goes to P, it does. I mean, I just don't think there is much between the teams, and we'll see.
I kind of think it's going to be a moment of absolute magic that's actually going to win it. And again, you know, two quality teams, arguably like the best two teams in London. And again, like this is literally raising like the bets profile. And you know, we kind of need these conversations. We could need like the kind of back and forths, respectively. But you know, again, when looking at everything is, you know, said and done at this present moment in time, West Fulham are the current holders, and again, they are kind of chasing like treble, and so are Charcoal. So
they're both chasing trebles.
They are both.
Okay, so they both have their league titles.
Look, what Andy, you
no, I think Jamaal will win. We drew a game because we beat them, they beat us. We drew a silly game, but as I said, if we can win the London Cup and win the Surrey Cup for the first time, that'd be a great season for us.
Who've you got in the Surrey Cup?
Trinity, you say?
No. That's who we beat yesterday. They were the current holders. We're playing. Was it Hornsley? I think Hornsley. I think it's at Meadowbank. I think.
Yeah. That's sorry FAHQ. I was
yeah. So I think it's Hornsley or thing like that. Yeah, but we think so. Yeah, if we can win both cups, that would be. I think that's an excellent season to retain the London Cup and to win the Surrey Cup, and then next year we have to push for the league. We have to win the league because the league don't lie.
Yeah. Are you playing Holy Town Vets?
Holy Town Vets. Sorry.
How many rounds did you have to play to get to the final?
4, I think 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, we played the good. We played at Chipstead yesterday against Trinity. Good side. I think Sidwell played for him, but I think he was injured. He was on the sideline. Good side. And we weren't. As I say, we weren't that good yesterday. And the last half an hour, we was down to 10 men, and we ended up scoring 3. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think the difference between us and Charcoal the same. I think we got mental strength. Even if we go down to 10 men, I think we can. We just know we can fight. We never know when we're beat, and that's the same as with Charcoal. What I noticed that they're all for one each other, and the same as us. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a really, really good final.
Yeah. I mean, you know, literally, the thing I can say about Charcoal again, they're very, very well organized, and they're a team full of winners, and again, they literally have, you know, that sprinkle of gold dust, and again, you know, West Fulham and Charcoal, between you've got less than 5 years of experience within, like, you know, I'd say vets like football, and again, we are talking about you guys again. So yeah, you know, honestly, it's you know, it's it's going to be an amazing game, and again, hopefully we can kind of get a crowd. The weather's going to be nice, and yeah, I'm 100% looking forward to the whole spectacle.
Yeah, oh yes. I mean, so am I. It's going to be a good rematch. Something's got to give. And like I said, I'm just too much of a football nerd. I'm really looking forward to the tactics, and also people. I want to see some good goals. I want to see some tactics. I want to see some tackles. Sorry, but no, I actually want to see the tactics. I really want to see how teams are going to respond and set up against each other. So see.
And with the greatest respect to Andy, you can make sure that you polish a trophy before you hand it over to us.
It's already been polished, and it's got West Fulham. We were the first name on the plaque, so on the new trophy.
It's a new trophy, so yeah.
The
first one. Yeah. I mean, Andy, come on. How do you really feel about Saturday?
I'm confident. I believe in my lads. We've had some good news about the players. Certain players that weren't going to be there, they've changed their holidays to play. So I just can't think. I'm really confident.
Tabrice, you hear what he just said? This is what I'm saying. This is what I mean. I think people really, some people, not anyone involved here, but I think some people really don't understand what it takes to win.
Honestly, yeah, it's true.
The sacrifice. People are changing holidays. People are, having to take the misses, this and that, keep this happy. The sacrifices, traveling. This is what I mean. People are changing holidays to win a cup. I mean, when people are making that level of sacrifice, scary team. That's why West Fulham's scary. Charcoal, scary team. Sporting Kids, Jamaal, all these scary teams. Scary teams, man. Scary teams to play against.
We are talking about, men taking time off work, missing, events, changing times to go on holiday. Exactly what I said before. We are literally talking about, in the kind of grand scheme of things, men in like football that are normally forgotten about. And again, we're actually talking about two like teams that are gonna go hell for leather. Two teams that literally, one team that wants to retain the trophy, and the other team that literally want to take the trophy with both hands. Honestly, like this is like the reason why this type of show exists. This is like the reason why Andy and yourself, Jamaal, kind of come onto the show and literally have these open discussions, because again, we within our own generation, we still have a huge part to play in the football community.
And you know what? Listen to this. When I know it's time to go, but before we go, when I deliver a referee course, I know who's going to pass or fail literally the second they walk through the door. Literally, they make eye contact, the confidence, the shoulders, all the micro expressions they show. Other than the actual tactical battle, I literally cannot wait to see when the teams enter the ground, because you can tell a lot about that as well, especially when the teams are evenly matched. Obviously, if one team is way better than the other, it doesn't matter how they enter the ground. But I'm really looking forward to that. And I know both teams will probably enter very similarly. They'll be relaxed. They'll be partying, happy to see the boys day out. The kids are there, the missus there, families there, whatever. But I really want to look at everything, how they enter the ground, when the warm-up starts, when the bantering stops and they start to go to sort of sterile time and start to focus, 20 minutes to kick off, 10 minutes to kick off, the lineup. Listen, I want to, I'm so sorry I actually have to work at this final, because I know I'll miss something, but I want to absorb it all. Can't wait.
And West Fulham will polish the trophy so you can see your tears in the reflection when you lose, Charcoal. That's actually funny.
That's smart.
And as Spencer has literally said something about the Hollington versus Ground Hoppers game. Was there an issue with that game, Jamaal?
I don't know. That wasn't in my competition, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Cool. And then one more comment before we go. Credit to all middle-aged men who like come out every week to play the game and give up their time. Couldn't give up their time he could be spending with the family.
What's this middle-aged man business? I know Marlon said he's a middle-aged man. Marlon's like 38, isn't he? That middle-aged now.
I don't know what
middle-aged. Andy, what age is middle-aged? That's not middle-aged to me. But
that's James. I think that's James doing. I think he runs their thing, doesn't he? The charcoal.
Yeah, Marlon said it as well. Well, he said it in it was yesterday.
I think that's because, as I say, I've only been doing it for two and a half years. I don't think people see the quality. Because a lot of people, that's football. It's middle-aged men. But the football is, because you can't just kick it into the corners and run for minutes. It's football. They play a lot of football.
Football.
Yeah, and I don't. as I say, last year's final was played at high level. If that's middle-aged men and we're ready to pack it all in, then it's something wrong because the standard. I mean, I watch Saturday football. I run a Saturday side, and then but then you see the younger. They just kick the ball in the corner and they run, or you got someone that kick it down the line, and if he's fast, technically Vets football. What I've seen in the 2.5 years I've doing it, the quality of the games are a lot better than some of the other games, the younger generation.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Guys, thank you kind of so much for this. For like you guys to actually coming on. I know it was like a bit of an ad hoc show, but honestly, thank you, Jamaal, for London FA representative and cup competition organizer for coming on at last minute. Andy, again, thank you so much for kind of coming on. And before I go, let me just go through again the times. So the London FA Vets Cup final kickoff is 2 p.m. at Cray Valley FC, Middle Park Avenue, London, SE9 5HP. Jamaal, what's the best time to actually get to the ground realistically?
I would say for anyone coming down, you definitely want to come around 11. Obviously, gates will be open from sort of 10. But yeah, you definitely want to come down because watching the players come in and the warm up, all the banter and everything, I think that'll be something you don't want to miss. But there's always a lovely atmosphere when it comes to Vets football. This isn't a football match; it's an event. It's a lot of time for a lot of people to meet up and see each other again and get chatting. And just when you're getting into your full flow of chatting, an excellent game of football is going to start. So
cool. And another question: Have you got the private jet ready for West Fulham?
Well, I'm just going to say something, Therese. If you're doing a Friday show, I won't be able to do that because I'm leaving to get to the ground.
For everyone, I just Googled mapped West Fulham to Cray Valley at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, and it said 48 minutes. So don't listen to the 2-hour journey, okay?
And I'm going to go slightly away from Vets and say I have a competition happening for the Grenfell Memorial Cup happening Saturday, the 21st of May. I have 2 tickets, so please watch out on my Instagram exactly what you have to do to win those tickets. Guys, thank you so much for kind of coming on. And yeah, may the best team win. I can't make a prediction because again, I've not seen West Fulham play. It'd be very unfair for like me to say to
when we're in the back, you're always saying we're going to win. When you always say you're going to smash them and all that. I'm not going to put you out. I'm not going to put you out in front of everyone. The best centre back.
And wow, you making lies, absolute lies, absolute lies. Jamaal, no, it's not fair. I'm not gonna ask you for a winner.
Who's gonna win, Jamaal?
I think whoever's best at taking penalties will win.
Oh, here we go. Not sitting on the fence.
No, it's not fence. No, hey, Andy, I have every sort of reason to be on the fence. Okay, for all HR reasons. Tabrice doesn't have those reasons. So
me,
I know he'll pick Charcoal because he had one game for them when they were short.
No, I like even said it yesterday. Like I cannot make a prediction because I've not seen West Fulham play, and I think that's just so unprofessional. The only thing I can say is
Andy, stop this. Making a prediction in this game won't be easy.
No,
this is
Liverpool. If you want to see us
Liverpool, Real Madrid. I mean,
on YouTube and watch the final.
Oh no, I mean I've actually watched it a couple of times, and but again that was last year. Like both like
is your team still the same, Andy?
I've got a few new players.
So I'm saying. So and come on, man, a few new players can make a massive difference. I mean,
it's going to be a great game. It's going to be that's the main thing. It's going to be a great game, and hopefully, whoever wins it, it's won by football, not a mistake or a decision. It's won by magic.
I think. I mean, someone's going to make a mistake. You know that. Because both teams are pretty well set up to create mistakes out of the opposition. You know, that's how I see it. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And I don't say, let me just. He's got a charcoal shirt on, underneath hoodie. You know, I can't afford a charcoal shirt. You know, how about that? So, hey, but no, honestly, guys, thank you so much for coming on. And again, let me go to the date before we let go off. Again, the London FA Vets Cup kickoff is at 12. Sorry, at Cray Valley Stadium, Middleton Park Avenue, London, SE9 5HP. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I've just seen this comment. Therese, you're waffling. You made a prediction about Catford beating Jamrock when you never seen us play. And you know what? Listen, yes, I did. And that's something that I will never do again. So I've kind of learned.
What? You're gonna make that stop you? Okay, well.
No, yeah. Listen, you know what? I'm not perfect. I've said a lot of things.
I didn't know you started. You started to stutter a lot tonight.
Because I'm tired.
Wendy's supposed to be coming for me. He's been coming for you more than me.
You know what?
I didn't know he played for Charcoal.
Oh, fair.
Hold on. No, let me just clarify this.
No. It's fine.
No. Let me just clarify. It was a
you
charity.
You were on the committee, was you, for picking the ground, was you? So this was you on the committee.
I like playing for Charcoal in a charity game, and it was an amazing event. And so, literally, big shout out to James and literally everyone. I like Charcoal. So hey, and yeah, I think there are a few pictures of me in a Charcoal shirt, and so
so I'll bring a spare West Fulham shirt for you on the.
I'm actually working. So yeah. But again, guys, honestly, thank you so much. We'll be back on Sunday. So again, please like and subscribe. Thank you to again Jamaal and Andy. See you guys later. Have an amazing week, and yeah, let the best team win.
Cheers.